Benny here. Welcome back to the coverage of UWL Sweden. If you'd like to see the first video, part 1, click the link that'll pop up now. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on rolling from where we were before. If you've watched the first video, you know we just pulled up a flag, and I went back to get my marker. That's our scout. He just got eliminated, so I'm going to settle in to guard the flag position, and I'll condense this down, so it'll skip to action parts when actually there was a lot more going on. While I'm guarding here, I just keep hearing these twigs snap over on my right. So I keep checking to the right, keep checking to the right. It's a boring 5 minutes, but I just had that feeling something was coming. And one of the red players was working the tape line. So finally, with my patience, you're going to see he comes up a little bit too much, and I see his movement, and then it's done because I wasn't moving. So, and he's out. So I think we're good, but then Lars Dahlen from the Ignition Old School, he's going to make a move on that flag station, and I'm not going to be able to stop him here. So cleared out the tape line guy, but Lars is going to make a move here. So here's what's going on. That's me in the blue, and Lars is going to make a run for the flag station. The problem is I have a really narrow field of fire, so I'm not going to be able to get him. I can hear them talking about making a move. I figure I'll try to get him when he runs in, but that's only about a meter wide window, so it's not going to work out so well. So Lars runs into the flag. As you can see, really difficult for me to shoot him. So we need to come up with a new plan here. Ideally, I'm going to try and circle around to the right of the fort. Lars is actually going to leave the flag position. So my plan is to circle to the right, and then maybe the guy behind me can fill in and make a run for that flag. So here's me circling to the right through all the rocks and stuff. This worked in a previous game. You can outflank that fort. Not exactly the most forgiving terrain here, but so you're going to try to make it to that little crop of pine trees sort of in the center of your screen. The fort's over there on your left. So hopefully when I get here, what I'm thinking at this point is I'll get to this tree and I'll have a clear field of fire down the side of the fort, and then the guy behind me can fill in, go to where I was before, and make that same run I made before, something like this. However, this does not work out quite as well as intended. The guy behind me ends up following me, and then the Ignition Old Schoolers are talking, and I realize there's at least three, maybe four in front of me. So my guy's going to come over to me, and there's including one guy straight in front of me somewhere. I can hear him talking. Can't see him. Don't know what to do. Don't know what's going on. At some point, I figure, what the hell? I'm just going to run straight down the tape line and see what happens. Pretty amusing little sequence coming up here. So there's me. Fuck it. I'm going. And off we go. This is actually one of the brothers who invented the Chrome 2 marker. I'm going to run right past. Lucky for him, I'm a pump player and my gun was in the wrong hand. We'll back that up so you can see it again. And lucky for me, his gun was off. So here we go. Running. There he is, but his gun's turned off and mine's pumped. So I get off one shot and then I'm in these bushes. In here, I was freaking out. I figured I was going to get surrounded. I could hear them talking. So this section, I stay in here for almost 10 minutes freaking out. It looks something like this from above. Me, the Chrome 2 guy, my own player, and then more people. I can hear him talking to all the rest of the Ignition Old Schoolers. So I start to wig out. I figure I'm going to get surrounded, bunkered, something. Or I expect him to turn around and come back and shoot me. He's talking at this point, letting the other ignition guys know that I got through the line. So I figured I'll crawl back up towards him. And then I wait till he starts talking to them again, and I put a couple in his head. So he's out, and now time for me to go on my adventure. I'm going to gradually make my way across the field here. It won't be a nice straight line like that. It's about a 5-6 minute journey. I'm still paranoid. I still think there's people everywhere. The team I was playing on did not have a radio, so we could not communicate. So once you were alone, you really felt quite alone and paranoid. But I am going to be able to find a nice big thicket, a big clump of bushes, perfect for a pumper, where I can guard the tape line and protect that flank. So here's that big thicket of bushes. Trying to pull the branches out of the way as gently as possible so they don't make that same cracking sound. So this is my thicket. There's me under there, but there's 3 people coming. I was just not having a good day. So you're going to see a guy try to come across this open terrain. I'm going to try to pick him off. I don't get him. And then, yeah, here we go. And then he and all his buddies are going to open up on me. Luckily, I'm in a really thick bush, and I lay down as flat as I can. So they're just hammering this thicket. You're actually going to see paintballs start to roll down from above where they're going into the bushes and then dropping down onto where my location is. By now they figured out I'm a pumper, so they're just hammering. And I'm just trying to crawl as deep into this pine tree thing as I can. So they talk and talk, and there's actually a ref on the other side of the pine tree thicket there. And the guys weren't shooting exactly where I was. They were shooting where they thought I was. So they're screaming at him that I'm out. And he said, no, he's still in. You're not even shooting in the right bush. So I'm just hanging out. You can see some of the paintballs, yeah, rolling down there. Trying to get a lucky shot. Just pop up and get one off. Drop back down. But because the bushes are so thick, I can't even shoot out of them, let alone get them to shoot in. I wish we had the audio for this, because I was swearing to myself and there was paintballs ripping through the bushes, and just imagine that in your head. Imagine something super intense and scary. And then they start talking about making a move on me, so I get real nervous. So here's about what's going to happen. The red player is going to try to swing around and bunker me, but he doesn't know quite where I am. So there he goes, that way. I'm going to decide to move, and I'm going to trip on a rock and fall and cut my leg open. Awesome. So now I'm bleeding from my leg, and I'm completely surrounded. Try not to move here. Nobody's moving. I'm going to try and run crosswise and get away from everyone so I'm not surrounded anymore. Get into some big rocks. Reload. I'm still freaking out. Figure they're going to come for me sooner or later. So I decided to push back all the way into the back corner by the tape and sort of let them come. Yeah, my whole change the flag back plan kind of went to hell. So right now I'm just trying to stay alive, try to keep some of them occupied while the clock runs down. Maybe some of my guys can make a move. I think all of my guys were dead at this point, but we didn't have a radio, so I didn't know that. So pretty much I just take up a position here in the back corner and shoot it out with everyone. Ideally, I'd like to run across the field and try to get to their home base, but that's not going to happen because there's only about I don't know, 45 seconds of gameplay left at this point. Just trying to pick them off, keep them looking this way, keep them worried. Didn't really do much down here, but I figured if the pump player can tie up 2 or 3 other guys, might be okay. If the rest of my team wasn't dead in the dead box. Way to go, guys. And right about now, whistle's going to blow. I'm going to be stuck in the back of these really thick bushes. So that's the game. And now there's no way for me to get out. But thanks for watching Scenario Paintball TV's coverage. Sorry there isn't more. The camera shit the bed. That happens. We're working on getting a new one. Next UWL Sweden's coming up mid-October. Check it out, uwl.se. And we will see you on the field. Any questions, comments, email us. And take care. Peace.